All right, so you have those three things you thought of from the last activity. Let's talk about those items, those everyday devices. How do you use them? Do they have any buttons or displays like we saw on the alarm clock? What these buttons and displays, if we look at the alarm clock as an example, are the interfaces to this device or object. Interfaces are things that allow an object to interact with the outside world. The alarm clock has a very limited world that it can connect with. It's just got a few buttons, alarm button, volume button, it's got a display. We, on the other hand, have interfaces that work in a lot of ways. We have hands, we have eyes, we have ears, we have mouths. We have a lot of different interfaces that allow us to experience the world around us. And if, say, for example, we were an alarm clock, we'd probably take in the time that the person wanted to wake it up with our ears, and probably would wake them up with our mouth. So we would be using these two interfaces, most likely, maybe our eyes to look at the time and make sure that we're telling them it's the right time. But in a sense, the alarm clock kind of works on the similar idea. Now you might wonder, well, why do we have interfaces? And on top of that, why do we have this case protecting or covering all of the pieces? Well, I kind of gave it away there a little bit. It's about protection. It's about protecting what's inside this device. If we didn't have this, what would happen if it maybe got bumped off our nightstand, or maybe we were touching it and it was plugged in and we actually touched the wrong spot? We might short the whole thing out and electrocute ourselves. Interfaces are important because they limit the ability of the person to interact with the physical perspective of the device. They protect the implementation, and in a way, they hide it. And this is a key concept in abstraction called implementation hiding. And like it, information hiding. We hide the details of how this thing works. We also hide the data that this device uses. Because what would happen if I could change the value of how long a second lasted? What would happen? Well, this alarm clock would most likely be completely useless. Within minutes, it would be wildly off if I changed maybe a second to last for 2 seconds or half a second. It would become really unpredictable and never really work right ever again. And that is one reason why interfaces, and in this sense of the alarm clock, this protective container exists to safeguard it from those using the device in a logical perspective, from damaging the physical perspective. So, with these new kind of concepts, go ahead and take the understanding quiz. And in the next module, we're going to be diving into object-oriented programming, which really builds upon what these concepts are that we just went through. So I'm excited to see you there, and see you in a bit.